I'm Heidi and I'm really excited to have come to the end of my first full year at King's College Prep, and I'd love to be able to share just a few of my insights from that year with you. It's been really busy, but really wonderful. And I think some of the highlights, gosh, there have been so many highlights. I think one of my highlights was probably the carol service over at the college in the chapel. It was just such a beautiful setting and the children sang so well. That was a really big highlight for me, but there have been so many others too. I think some of the sporting events, particularly where we've had lots of visiting primary schools here as well, the buzz that you get from children when they're doing their sport, and actually the weekly cross country, the King's Loop, that's been really fun, and taking part in that when I'm able has been lovely as well. There are just so many things that go on here, even just a snapshot of popping into a lesson and seeing them in action and watching how well the children are learning. That, you know, your instinct is to pick the big stuff, but actually some of those small interactions with individual pupils, like when they come and bring me their work, if they've been awarded a special HMC, it's just so lovely to have those moments with them discussing their progress. Yeah, I suppose I came with a bit of an open mind. I think you have to. I knew quite a lot about the school when I started. I think I knew what kind of school it was, so I wanted to just watch and learn and above all get to know people, and I think I worked really hard in the first term to build relationships both with staff and parents and pupils, and also at the wider staff body at the college. That was really important too. So now we've moved on from that and we're building that relationship. I suppose that the things that I've wanted to look at are a little bit deeper, so we've been getting into teaching and learning and making sure that we're just really future-proofing ourselves and making sure that we are always offering the very best we can for every child. Wow, that's a good question. Surprised me. So I think actually I was most surprised by our Year 8 production. I've been in schools a really long time. I've seen a lot of productions, but their performance of The Lion King really blew me away. I knew they were talented. I'd heard it would be really good, but it was really something else. So that was probably my biggest surprise so far. There are so many rewarding things as a head that you get to do. Watching children get that moment for the first time and they didn't get it before. You might be lucky enough to be in a lesson when that happens, or seeing them do their first solo in one of the music concerts, or just seeing one of the bigger events and a child winning a race or something like that. But it's not about winning. It's not about them always being on the stage or on the platform. It's just seeing them doing their best and being their best. That is rewarding every day. And those little smiles and waves that I get when I'm on the gate every morning, that's also really rewarding. Oh, there are definitely some moments that capture the spirit of the prep. I think one of them is really, it's a little one, it's really silly really, but it's a kind of lunchtime scenario when they're all really relaxed and you've got teachers sitting on the tables with them and no one's trying to be anything. There's not even really a barrier between a teacher and a pupil. They're all just having lunch, but the conversations that take place and the family feeling that it creates is just really special. Yeah, I think it's our Thursday chapel services. It's very traditional sometimes, although this week, for example, we had a band in and that wasn't at all traditional. The children will cope with whatever we throw at them actually, but it is a big King's tradition. We're a Woodard school and that's really important to us. And the children just really use it as a time of reflection, for just thinking about their week. The staff really enjoy that pause in the week where we're all just there to think about something bigger than ourselves and to reflect on us collectively as a community really, and I love it. In the listening to parents that I was doing, particularly in the early days, of course I always listen to parents, but it came through loud and clear that they felt like they wanted more community events. And so we have relaunched the Parent Association, and their entire focus is going to be on organising community events which families can come together, sometimes just adults, and whatever they want really, just to make sure that our parents feel really part of the school. So I'm excited to see how that will develop. And also to make sure that the spirituality of the school is still at the centre, that we finish like that. I introduced this year, as part of our prize day, that we would end our day with a service. So the children all got together. It was really centred around the Year 8s because it's their special time. Although they're only majority of them go straight across to the college, it's still their special leaving of the prep school, and some of them have been here since they were very, very tiny. It's a big deal, and sending them out from an act of worship, really, really important. So I hope that's a tradition that will remain for many, many years to come. Well, one of the things that we started this year was hot chocolate with the head. So as well as meeting new families when they come in, and at the beginning of September we have a welcome tea, and all of the staff will come and show the children around to make sure they feel comfortable and are not daunted by their first day. And we have parent reps that will meet families and talk to them in advance and make sure they have their questions answered. Once they're in school, it's important that I get to know them as well as their class teachers. So they get invited in, and we have special hot chocolate and nice biscuits, and the children get to tell me their first impressions. I usually ask them what they've enjoyed, if there's anything they're daunted by, if there's anything they think that we should do differently, and we just have a lovely chat, and it's my first chance to catch up with them. I then make sure that I see them in class and periodically check that they're happy and thriving. So I think that there are lots of things. I think I'm looking forward to it not feeling new, and everything this year was my first, so people have to help you through and you don't really have any preconceptions about what it's going to be. So it'll be really nice to be doing some of those things with a bit of foreknowledge. But also I'm really excited about the new things that we're launching. So we've got the baby room opening, and that's super exciting, and I know that that's going to be a big success. We've got lots of babies joining us, and our nursery is expanding. So we're excited about that, but also thinking about the other end of the school, making sure that our older children are really doing things which will give them the edge in their future, I suppose. So our new Future Ready programme is starting in September, and our Year 7s are going to be our first pioneers of that, where they get a chance to explore themselves a bit deeper. So they'll be doing an independent project, learning about financial literacy, and having speakers in so they get a little bit more insight into possible careers and so many more things, life skills classes, just making sure that we are making our children's time post-primary school, before they go off to their secondary schools here. They finish the primary years. What's special about those 2 years? They're still very young, but they're very, very capable. So we harness that and give them this special new programme. I think the magic of prep school is that children get to be young, but they get to be taught in such a way as we're always thinking ahead for them, so they don't have to. And I think the opportunities are endless at prep school, and I just want to make sure that we can keep ourselves on the cutting edge of what we can offer, so children have the very best foundations for their future, whatever that might be. I do love my role. It's exhausting, but that doesn't matter, because every day those interactions with the children are so rewarding, and actually the chats with parents can be equally rewarding, because if you hear from a parent whose child has been here and they've been on a transformational journey with them, and they say, oh, thank you so much, after just a term here, they're just so much more confident, that's really rewarding. Obviously, I look like I'm taking the praise, but I'm not the one doing it, it's the staff, and we have brilliant staff here, and then I can go and pass that on to them. That is incredibly rewarding. I just want to share my feelings about the school, and for prospective parents, I just try to get them to come and feel it. I can say all I want about a school, but it's only when you actually come through the doors and feel the difference of the King's Prep way, really. You can harness that energy, that enthusiasm, that innocence that we can have here, where the children are just able to be, and that is priceless. They're outside such a lot, it's beautiful, and they know how privileged they are, but they don't take that for granted. They really want to give back to the community, and I just want to say to families present, thank you for supporting us, and to families of the future, trust us with your children and you won't regret it, really.